By being Muslims. I respect that, so there's no reason to be a Jew, whatever, no problem. I'm saying that despite that being the case, the fact that there have been theological justifications using ethnicity is still current, okay? So for example, if you said to me, look, I and the majority of Muslims don't believe in terrorism. We look at the Quran and we accept that. However, there are some group of people that look at the Quran and justify terrorism from it. We have to accept that that exists so that we can deal with that. You must accept the fact that there are a lot of people in Israel who are Haredi Jews, Orthodox Jews, who use the Bible or the Hebrew Old Testament in order to make a case, for a racial case, for the superiority of the Jewish people. You might not be one of them.
What do you mean, as the state of Israel?
No. As the superiority of the Jewish people in general. The Jews and the Gentiles are separate, and that the Jewish class is higher than the Gentiles. There are some people who say that. You're not one of those. I will not force that upon you.
I say it's a misconception of understanding the language and the way it's spoken.
And I agree.
Mohammed Hijab, thank brother for talking.
But let me just
we'll keep it
give me 2 minutes. Let's finish off.
Let's finish off. We condemn violence wherever it is.
Aaron, listen. What I was going to say is this. The reason why I mentioned, by the way, Urgun and the fact that they became part of the Likud party, and is because we want to show. You're talking about how much you circle backwards. We circle backwards to the inception of the State of Israel, and we realize that you have literal terrorist organizations, accepted as such, by the way, by the British, by the Americans, by the UN, by everyone, the international community, like Urgun, being absorbed into what is now the Likud party, who, of course, Netanyahu leads, or which Netanyahu leads. The point being is this: when Israel points the finger at Hamas, they have to look at their own beginning.
I always say we have to understand each other. We have to understand each other.
The fact that Hamas has no different an ideology from the Likud party. They both actually have the same ideology. The only difference is they both believe in a one-state solution. Let's be honest. Both of them believe that
I think it might work. It might work.
Listen,
together.
The difference between the two is just tactics and capabilities. That's what you need to understand. But the difference is, one is a group which is being condemned internationally, and the other one is a state which is being funded by the Americans.
Can we talk later on?
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Take care, bro.
All the best, brother.
You too. So.
Salam alaikum. Alaikum assalam.
Okay.
Peace upon you.
All right. Thank you very much, my friend. Take care, guys. Look, guys, just to end this, it's very important. As you saw there, there's not really a case anyone can make unless they want to talk about archaeological findings. But the point of the matter is this: it is hypocrisy at the highest level. It is a double standard at the highest level when you have groups of people in the West, neoconservatives, alt-right, whatever you want to call them, who actually support the State of Israel, and they call for process of normalization with Israel. You have even Muslims voting Democrat because Joe Biden is apparently better than his alternative, but actually he's not. In fact, those Muslims who voted for him should be ashamed of themselves, knowing that he would be someone who supports this cause. I say very clearly that we should not vote for any of the political parties today. Labour, Democrats, the Muslims should withhold their vote. Because you know why? I'm not saying because voting is kufr or voting is shirk or that. We don't believe in this. But what we are saying is this: if the Labour Party in this country knows that Muslims will vote for them, they don't have to work for it. They don't even have to work for it. The Democrats are pretty confident that Muslims are going to vote for it. They don't even have to work for it. But we see the fact that the Democrats, Joe Biden is saying that had a State of Israel not been there, we'd have had to invent one. This, what's his name? Starmer, yeah? I forget his first name. What's his first name? Keir Starmer, yeah? Yeah, this fool. He actually is a Zionist by his own confession, and he actually cancelled one of the meetings he had with Muslim organization because they're pro-Palestine. This guy is no different from what you have in the Conservative Party. Therefore, I say this clearly today. In addition to the social media policies that we have and our directives, we should condemn those parties, the Labour Party and the Democrat Party, and we should withhold our vote. We should never give them our vote because they are supporting the wrong side on the struggle. We can't be selfish enough to care about welfare benefits or JSA or whatever you guys, our community is like in this country, a welfare state, at the expense of our brothers and sisters in Palestine being bombed with the blessing of the likes of Joe Biden and Starmer. We cannot vote for these parties. We cannot, and we must make them work for it. If they want us, they have to be very clear on this issue. It's a red line for the Muslim community. The Palestine issue is a red line for the Muslim community. And I say this once and I'll say it again. We will campaign against all political parties which do not candidly condemn the Palestine issue. And we are becoming a major demography here. We'll find in the 2021 census that we're approaching the 10% mark. So you mess around with 10% of the vote, that in the current state will make or break an election, and they know it based on first past the post system. So we are actually an important player in the voting. And what we will say is we will withhold our vote. We will withhold it. If you, as a political leader, are treating the Muslim community and the Palestinian community in the way that you're doing, and we will withhold our vote, and we will condemn Joe Biden and condemn all of those who campaign on his behalf from the Muslim community as well. And they should look again at the strategies in America, the da'iyahs there, because it's a wrong strategy. This idea of maslahah, you've completely warped it and destroyed it. Where is bara'? Where you don't believe inna bara' minkum mimma ta'buduna min dun Allah kafarna bikum wa bada baynana wa baynakum al-adawata wal baghdha abadan hatta tu'minu billahi wahdah. That's what Abraham said. We are disassociated with you. It's in the Quran, chapter 60, verse 7. And with what you believe in. Kafarna bikum. We disbelieve in you. وَبَدَى بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَكُمُ الْعَدَاوَةَ وَالْبَغْضَاء. And between us is just enmity and hate. We say this to the Zionist state. There's nothing but enmity and hate between us. We hate you. And we love to hate you. And in fact, we just like, actually I'll say something. I read his book, Begin. Machaim Begin, or whatever his name is. It's called The Revolt. And he says in the beginning, how much he hates the Palestinians and how hate is a good thing. Well, you know what? We hate you too. And it's a mutual hate. There's reciprocity. We hate you too, to the Zionists that are bombing the children and killing them and making people suffer. And not even, by the way, they're not even offering compensation. Have you thought about that? If they think about that, they've killed so many people, 266. Of them, 30% children, 20% women, 75% women, children and civilians. You've killed hundreds of people and you don't even want to compensate them. You've destroyed buildings and you don't even want to rejuvenate them. You don't want to rebuild their infrastructure. That shows that you are targeting them all along. What do I do? What do I assume of a people who know if you press a button, 75% civilians will die, including 30 children? Would you press that button? Wallahi, think about that question for a second. Those Israeli mujrims, criminals, armies, when they were pressing the button to detonate and kill the children, imagine knowing that when I press this button, I have a 30% chance of killing a child. Cowards. And they do it knowing that. And in fact, they've killed 2,000 such children in the last 10 years. You know you're going to kill children. It's not fighting. That's not fighting. You're punishing a militant group with killing children. Because you know why? And this show, I don't care what anyone says. They think because these are Palestinian children, they are as good as cockroaches. They are as good as animals. Wallahi, I don't even believe that. Wallahi, I believe if they saw a dog being killed, they'd feel more sorry for that dog than they feel sorry for the children of Palestine. If they saw a cat being killed, they would feel sorry for that cat being killed, and they would not feel sorry. They'll feel happy and joy as they parade and enjoy seeing the children. And we're not going to forget it just because there's a ceasefire. What do you mean ceasefire? You've killed 266 people. We're going to continue shouting at the top of our lungs. And we are going to continue putting pressure on you. We are a lot of people here. With 50 million Muslims in Europe, who do you think you are? Wallahi, who do you think you are? Don't ever think that we're going to remain quiet. We're too big a number. Pew says we're going to be one of every 3 people in 50 years. You can't get rid of us. There's no genocide that can deal with us. No nuclear weapon can get rid of us. We're in every city in the world. And not only are we in every city in the world, now in the age of technology and the internet and social media, we are going to be influencing every city in the world. And we are going to be dealing with the oppression that you want to exact upon us. Because I tell you one thing, wallahi, and let everybody hear this. They tell us, the Muslim leaders, so-called Muslim influentials, the scholars, the clerics, they say, look, you need to find out why there's a radicalization problem. Why there are people blowing themselves up, why there is 7/7, why there is 9/11, why there is the Manchester bombing, why? Osama bin Laden, when he wrote his fatwa, and I don't know, the early 2000s, the first thing he used as ammunition for his jurisprudential position was the Israel-Palestine conflict. The first thing he used, he mentioned it in 2 fatwas he wrote. Go and see the fatwas. He used the Israel-Palestine conflict. And he said the fact that America is supporting Israel means that they are complicit in their crimes and they are killing our civilians, and therefore we should go and kill their civilians. That's the argument. Do you want to know what the Al-Qaeda argument is? It's that. That is the argument. They're killing our civilians, therefore let's kill theirs. Tell me the difference between that argument and the Lukin argument. Tell me the material difference between that argument and the ISIS or the Israeli argument. Israel is saying they're throwing rockets at us, they're detonating bombs, therefore we need to bomb their most densely populated areas. We need to kill their civilians, collateral damage. That's what they're trying to do as well. So Osama bin Laden uses this as ammunition. And when you have weak words, fumbling, pathetic, weak words from world leaders like Joe Biden saying that Israel has the right to defend itself. You are putting your own populations at danger, you foolish people, by saying that. Some fool now, some Muslim hyper-zealous fool will take your words and then contradistinct it, juxtapose it, contrast it, change it, analyze it in corroboration with. They will compare it with the words of Joe Biden. And what that narrative does, that political narrative, it gives complete currency to the terroristic position, the radical Muslim position. Then don't come to us and say, why are you not de-radicalizing these people? We're trying to de-radicalize them and tell them, actually, we don't believe in killing women and children in any circumstance. Because the Prophet said this, and the Prophet said that, and the Quran says this, and the Quran says that. But when emotions get into the picture, our argument, which is a rational and textual and jurisprudential argument, will not be as strong as the emotional argument of the terrorists. And you're making their argument stronger by siding with Israel. So don't be shocked to find some dumb guy, some monstrous Muslim blows himself up in the next couple of weeks. I'm not going to be shocked. If I see that, I'm going to expect it. I'm not going on trains. You're putting your own populations in danger. You're putting us in danger by not taking a firm stance. Because they say, okay, if we're going to trade on civilians, we're going to kill your civilians as well. It's an alliance, they say. The leaders of this country and the leaders of the West have a duty to their own populations. And to us, to make their position clear. Don't have double standards when it comes to terrorism. Do not. Because that will make the world a more dangerous place. And we're looking for world peace. We're looking for a situation where we've got nuclear weapons, 7 billion people. We can't handle this stuff anymore. So this is what I say.
So many good things.
Okay. And therefore I conclude. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My voice is almost gone, bro. Wow, I've shouted too much today.
You think? You stop it now?
Yeah. I used to now. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm